stories. How's it going, everyone? This is Coffinbrood. I just got the news about my son. My son's doing really well. The surgery was successful. I'm very thankful and very happy about that. Also, for the first time, I got to hear my son say, "I love you," which nearly made me cry. I'm a very sensitive and emotional man. All jokes aside, I make fun of a lot of people in the stories, and I read it condescendingly sometimes, but I mean no disrespect to the people who send these stories or the people that write these stories. I'm just a sarcastic person. I use sarcasm as a defense mechanism because I'm usually really depressed. I also talk a lot of trash about other people in the horror community, about them being lazy and complaining about their depression and their anxiety. And it does seem very mean and hypocritical of me to do that, but the difference is I really do work more than a lot of people in this community, and I feel like I don't get the respect that I deserve. A lot of my subscribers tell me that I deserve more subscribers, and I'm right there with them. I feel the same because I bust my ass every single week to deliver these stories, and I got people that come on here and just blatantly disrespect me. They don't even give me a chance. It's like, okay, I get it. You like another narrator? Okay, well, go like that other narrator. Don't come here and just write hateful comments. I've been very rude about it and very mean about it, but now I'm trying to be more mature about it because I feel like when I'm being rude that a lot of people get the wrong impression of me. But the reality is that my 48-hour views are a lot higher than other people who have 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 subscribers because I am constantly on it. I am not sitting there on Twitter or sitting there on Twitch and procrastinating and making excuses. I have real goals here on YouTube. My goal is to be successful. YouTube is a cutthroat business. This is the entertainment business, and it is a cutthroat business. There are liars, there are cheaters, there are manipulators. Anyone that can take advantage of you or hold you back, they are there to do so, and they will try. Sorry for the unusually long rant. Enjoy the show. So I started talking to this girl that I vaguely remember from high school that I hadn't seen in a long time. She seemed really nice. She said that she wanted to meet me. I didn't have a phone at the time, so it made it kind of difficult to set up anything. There was this other girl that was living at my friend's house. She'd been living there for a while, and I'd ignore her for several weeks because I generally did not care. She'd say hi to me, and I'd just kind of ignore her. One day, I decided to be social, and I started talking to her, and the moment that I decided to talk to her, she was telling my friend off, saying that he was never going to get it, and that they'd never get together. I decided to make a move, and I kissed her, and she went and had sex with my friend, and I was like, what the fuck? The next week rolls around, and I'm messaging the other girl from high school, and she wants to go to the mall. So I go to the mall with her, and she is constantly yakking about something. I barely got a word in. She's rambling about some other guy that I used to be friends with that she supposedly dated, and some other guy that she dated claimed that she was always at the other guy's house. I asked if I could see her again, and she makes up a bunch of excuses. Right as I'm about to get out of her car, she tells me that her last name isn't Caleb Brown. and that her name is in fact Kayla Harrison. I tell her that I remember a girl named Kayla Brown that looked just like you. She tries to tell me that it's not true. About a week later, I was helping my friend move, and I get a message from Kayla, and I tell her that I'm helping my friend move, and she replies with, "That's so nice of you to help your friend move." And it sounded so fucking condescending. I eventually hear someone say the first girl's full name, Jennifer Harrison. And I'm like, hold up, what is your last name? And she tells me again, and I mentioned something about Kayla Brown, and how she claimed her real name was Kayla Harrison. Even though I seen her Cash App card when we stopped for food, and she refused to let me pay, and paid instead. And her Cash App card said Kayla Brown, not Kayla Harrison. She has a daughter she can't explain as well. I asked about her daughter, and she makes up weird and arbitrary shit. I stopped trying to talk to her. I also stopped talking to Jennifer because I feel like I was being lied to by both of them. I think they were talking and that they are secretly related or friends or something. I liked Kayla, but I feel like she was jerking me around and wasting my time. And I kissed Jennifer, and she told Kayla, and I don't know what happened after that. So I was dating my ex-boyfriend for about 2 years. His family was throwing a Labor Day party, and everyone was pretty drunk. Well, I went up to go by the pool to smoke a cigarette when I ran into his dad, blacked out and sobbing. I asked if he was okay, and boy, was I not prepared for what he was about to say. He proceeded to tell me how 3 years ago, him, his wife, and my ex were having a wine night, and they drank about 6 bottles of wine. They were in the hot tub, and my ex and his mom went upstairs to change since they weren't feeling good. They ended up taking a long time, so his dad went to check on them. Well, he walks in my ex's room to find him on top of his unconscious mother. Hold up. What? Oh God, he was fucking his mom? At this point, I was weirded out. Yeah, you should be. Got up and just left. I would have done the same too. I didn't say one word to anyone. I was completely dumbfounded. I was not ready to be hit by a cannonball. That fucking disgusting. I ended up not talking to my ex for a few days. I would have stopped talking to him altogether, to be honest, because that's gross. I could not really formulate a sentence to send him without wanting to dry heave. He obviously knew I was upset, but didn't know what it was, so I told him to come over and I'd tell him. So he does, and I do. I start with, "Well, you fucked your mom." Blunt. I know, but that's how I am. He proceeded to puke for like 5 minutes straight. I asked him if he remembered, and he said, "Fuck no." But he remembered what his parents told him the next morning. His parents asked if he remembered what he did. He might prior, but he told me no. They said, "Learn your fucking limits and close the door." I told him that I didn't want to date him anymore. He cried. He pleaded. He said, "You're the only one that can help me. You were abused growing up. You're the only one that knows these feelings." He wanted me to go out with him so he could confront his parents, which I did. That was the equivalent of World War III. I was young and stupid. I tried to be there for him, but I honestly could not. Found out he was cheating on me, which I wasn't surprised. And that was the icing on the cake. Glad I got out of that one. Yeah, you should be glad that you got out of that one. My first mistake was becoming vaguely involved with a man I barely knew, but since it happened, I can only change things going forward. Then I'd like to see if anyone had any advice on my second and possibly third mistake. There are probably other mistakes in there too. I'm not a smart person some of the time. Anyway, nights of a lot of drinking led to method of birth control failing. I'm probably not pregnant. I track my ovulation. I have a disability that would make it difficult to get pregnant, and I took Plan B after. And I did not tell him, because honestly, what I put in my body isn't any of his business. I cut off contact with the guy because I wasn't feeling it. Let him know. Yesterday he asked me to come out to his apartment to get some things. I had left. I actually had left a shirt and a pair of earrings I wanted to get. When I got there, he started talking about how convenient it is that birth control method failed. It's a condom. It happens, I told him, not to worry too much about it because I am more than likely not pregnant. But if anything does come up, I'll let him know what my plans are. I specifically told him that I'm not even vaguely worried about it. Now, it has only been a week since we had sex, so there is no reason to even worry about it right now, because there is no way to tell, even if I was pregnant. You just have to wait it out. He is significantly younger than I am. I have lived through some condom breaks and slip-ups. I've been married twice with no kids. I am 41 with no pregnancy scars yet, so I'm not really that worried. Remember, I have actively tried with both my first and second marriage. He decides at some point during our insane conversation where I repeatedly tell him, A, calm down, dude. It has only been a week, and B, I'm probably not pregnant, and C, if I was, I would never ruin your life with my autonomous decisions. Oh my god, before I even continue this, I just want to say, dude, if you don't want to get a bitch pregnant, don't put your dick in her, okay? Because even if you wear a condom and the condom slips and it breaks and you nut in her, she gonna get pregnant. And if you ain't prepared for that, then you might as well quit fucking altogether. He claims I'm acting weird about it. Yes, mostly because he was being really creepily focused on it when I never even brought it up. He says I should take Plan B. I told him I did. He doesn't believe me. He wants a receipt. He wants proof I bought it. How the fuck am I gonna prove it if I don't have a receipt? I grab my stuff and head for the door. He blocks it and demands that A, I take the Plan B that he has bought in front of him and show him I swallowed it, or B, also take a pregnancy test. I tell him I'm not taking another Plan B, and a pregnancy test at this point would be useless. He starts panicking and takes my phone, which I had on the counter by my purse, and he refuses to let me leave until I do. We waited out for about an hour, with me crying by this point for him just to let me go. I'm trying to reason with him and telling him, look, just let me go. We will go our separate ways. I swear to go, you will never hear from me again. At one point, I mentioned calling the police, and he starts pacing the apartment. I'm small, so there is no way I can overpower this guy. And I don't want to escalate the situation. He starts talking about killing himself. An hour and a half later, his housemate comes home and talks some sense into him. The guy says that if I take the pill, he will let me go. I say no. He insisted and implies that I cannot leave until I do. I take it. I have to show them by mouth, which they filmed the entire bit, with me taking the pill and showing my mouth. They let me go. It was pretty late when I got home last night. They finally let me go at about 11 p.m. after about 2 hours. I wanted to go to the police, but I wanted to go home first because I wanted to just be in a safe place. I ended up falling asleep, and this morning when I woke up, I decided I should do something. I know that what they did isn't right, but what exactly do I tell the police? I am scared of a few things. A, they are going to wonder why I did not immediately report it. B, they're going to wonder why I went to his house. C, they are going to wonder why I went out so late. I was coming home from an event holiday party, and it was on the way. I figured I could kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and be disconnected from him that night. D, they are going to wonder why I did not just do what he asked. A neighbor of his did hear me crying and asking to be let out. I was crying pretty loudly and came over to my car as I was leaving and asked if I needed anything. I just wanted to get away from that house, so I ignored her and drove off. I do not mean to offend anyone with my raw testimony. I feel like I need to shout it out to the world in order to heal one day. So get ready to feel the anxiety, the critique. I'm writing this in the midst of chaos. The chaos is my own mind. CPTSD. I am writing this to make my thoughts clear to myself and to someone else like me who feels completely alone in this. I am a prostitute. I have been a prostitute since I was underage. I am in my mid-30s now. I am not one of those, "This is my calling. I can quit anytime I want to," or "I choose my clients and I would never work with the unpleasant ones." Not at all. I do not want to belittle their experiences. Part of it may be true for them, but after many years of hearing from them, hearing how my negative experiences in prostitution are all my own fault and should not be spoken of, I have started to question their truth as well, not just my own truth. I was also one of those who told all the clients how lovely it is to see them, how happy I am to work with them, how they are my favorite clients. I really tried to make myself believe it too. The truth is, of course, I was very happy to see their money, and I was also very happy to see them leave me alone after our sessions, cheerfully shouting at them as they left, "Thanks! I had a great time. Welcome back," which in fact meant, "Thanks for your money, so I can survive another day. I'm so happy it's over for today, but I will never get out of this miserable job, so I must try to keep my regulars happy to avoid the risk that come with meeting new clients." And I was often told by clients that my girlfriend experience was awesome, almost perfect. Just an illusion, or was it real, Joe? This was asked sometimes. I was often told I was wholeheartedly involved with my clients in our sessions, that my pleasure was not fake, that I really seemed to love sex. What sex? I have no memories of the sex part at all. They are all suppressed under the well-practiced performance, the performance that helped me survive in this world since I was a kid. My God, this is some deep shit. The clients wondered if there were actually some real, hot feelings between us. Many messages from them thanking me for their experience, and I never seemed to remember even what happened. I felt like a robot every day. but seems that I really was a good actress. The clients, of course, wouldn't know better because I was always on drugs. I was addicted to painkillers and benzodiazepines to handle the inhuman working conditions, and I had blocked my mind from remembering too much to protect my inner self, like most of us do in prostitution. I would just sit on my bed afterwards, looking at the money, focusing on it, counting my savings every day to keep myself motivated, and counting how much more I would have to save to retire, to never return, to leave, and to forget all that had happened in prostitution ever, to erase every single detail of my past. I was one of those who never had many choices. At times I tried to get disability, but the bureaucracy failed me over and over again. My mental health had been extremely shattered all my life. I couldn't even go to the grocery store alone anymore. But I also had no one to help me. No actual safety net. My self-esteem was very low. Starting from childhood abuse, counting well into my adulthood. A never-ending cycle. No education whatsoever. No work experience in any other industry than the sex industry. Not even a day. I had given up my beloved child, simply not to ruin her life as I was slowly ruining mine. I knew as a fact I would have ruined her life just by being me, even if it was the last thing I wanted to happen. No matter how, I would have tried to protect her. I felt like I ruined everything I touched. All I could focus on every minute of my life was to get the motivation to go on living at all, to breathe, and to go on serving my self-centered, demanding, wife-cheating, clinging, stalking, haggling, disrespectful clientele. I saw no escape. I still see no escape before I have saved up enough for the rest of my life. But I have thought about all of this through and through. No more lies. I have tried everything to get out, but I keep falling back. I have started to treat my clients with as much disrespect as they have for me to begin with, involuntarily, out of tiredness to serve them. I never saw any respect from them. I was always happy for the small things they did or didn't do, such as if client actually showed up to our appointment, I was in heaven. If a client actually paid the full price, I was so thankful for his extra kindness for the needy. If a client didn't verbally or physically assault me too badly, I saw him as a keeper. There is so much disrespect in the world of prostitution that relatively normal human behavior from clients felt like a gift from God. This is how it is for those of us who didn't choose this job out of pleasure, whose choices were extremely limited ever since we were children, the children who were always told we are not worth anything. As for the prostitutes that choose this job out of many and are happy with it, I am genuinely happy for your pleasant experience in the prostitution world and the fact that you don't suffer from PTSD caused by it. I am happy that you had the actual choice to do or not to do this. You are the lucky ones, the upper class indeed, but please do not continue to sweep us under the rug out of convenience. We are human beings too. We feel and think too. We are silent because of you. We are lonely. We are ashamed. And we feel like this is all our own fault. Our traumas, our negative feelings, the flashbacks, all our own fault, because there's absolutely nothing wrong with prostitution itself, you keep saying. We are the marginalized. are often too scared to speak out. Whenever we tell you about our struggles in the sex industry, you keep telling us, well, get over it, whore, because it ain't like you can do anything else. Guess you ain't suited for the job. Get a new one. What you fail to see when you say this is that it was never the dream career choice for us. The lower class of prostitutes, it's not a matter of choice for us. See, we cannot simply just get another job like most of you say you can. It's you who can do that, or at least that is what you tell us. Please recognize that anywhere and everywhere, all around the world, we exist too. We, the prostitutes, who are just trying to survive from day to day with our disabling health issues, our addictions, our daily struggles, our CTPSD, quietly, often silenced by the more privileged prostitutes, as well as the clients who take their pleasure out of our opposition. Damn, this is really hard to read, and this hits very close to home, because I have felt like this in the past. I know what it's like to grow up in a low-income household and not have shit. Life is a fucking struggle, regardless if you're rich, poor, middle class. But the poor seem to suffer more than anyone, or at least that's how it feels. If you're new, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, as it really helps me out. And if you are already subscribed, welcome back and thank you for subscribing.